So the doctor says, "You're obsessed with sex," and then the guy says, "Well, you're the one drawing all the dirty pictures." That one didn't work, huh? Hey everybody, what's up? This is Schizophrenic Jarrell, and so am I. A little reference to the movie What About Bob? Flew over my co-host's head. And this is an episode of Shadow Reviews. And with me we got Big League Stu.
Nope. It's Hootie Hoo Stew.
Hootie Hoo. Oh, we got a new name now.
Yes.
All right. I like that. Help me through this show today,
Hootie
Hootie
Hoo.
Hoo. Bringing back the 90s on that one. And we also got Snarky Mark. Oh, nope. Today he's not here today. Who's over here? We got Cousin Jay. Cousin Jay has been nice enough to fill in for an absent Snarky Mark, our usual co-host. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Thanks for filling in a little bit for us. I'll explain why he's not here. First, let you know what the show is. This is our punk rock edition of Shadow Reviews. We'll review albums from punk bands this time.
If you can call it that.
Today, we are reviewing the latest from Blink-182. They're back with a new record. We're also going to be having a guest on there. Mrs. S, the big Blink-182 fan, will be coming in to tell us what she thinks of that album. We're going to review the new band, kind of new, the Interrupters, the ska punk band. They have a new album that came out. And also, we're going to be reviewing the new album from another new band. Their band is called Direct Hit. Their new album, we're going to review that as well. Going to be taking some drinks here. We're going to have some shots of, I'll mention that in a minute. Also, we're drinking some regular liquor. And it's been a really tough week for everybody, as you can see in the media, and as for me as well. But we're going to get through it, right, Stu? We're going to have a good time?
Yeah.
Pump this shit up, you know?
All right.
All right. So the reason Mark's not here is actually he's ran into a little car trouble. But he was nice enough to send me his actual ratings for the album. So once we get to the end of each album, I will tell you what he thinks and try my best to do my best Snarky Mark impression to not only say his rating, but also what he would say, how he got to that particular rating.
I have the same car as him, so I know how he feels.
Oh, car trouble, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he said the car trouble is his fiance, so his fiance took the car, so he's stranded at home.
Oh,
but
my car just breaks then.
Well, it's good. Yeah, the only time you want a car to break is when you want it to stop. You know. Delicious drink here. Also, gonna get in some music news. We have a really kind of like a controversial story about a person selling CDs outside of a building and things didn't go well for him. We'll try to get to that story really quickly. Also, we're going to be talking about an actual topic I wanted Mark on for, but we'll try to get through it anyway. It involves a band he likes, and the lead singer took a stand on who he wants to go to his concert, who doesn't want there. We're going to read some emails. Actually, one of the emails we got is from our very own person right here with us. It's funny.
You emailed
Cousin
us?
Jay emailed us a very lengthy email, all kinds of questions. We'll try to get through them all. Some are biased questions. Some are actually important ones or really good ones.
You could have just asked us. You didn't have to email.
I appreciate the emails. He's helping out.
He actually here. He's here.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, wait, where did I mess up that you actually knew it was me?
That I know your name. That was.
it had your
I
name.
was trying
You
to find
put
a
your name.
profile. I think
Why didn't you put like Dick Buttkiss or
I forgot
something?
what
Then I would have thought it was the other guy though. So, but I'll read your email. I'll treat it with the same professionalism that I treat this whole show entirely. And finally, we got to introduce our mascot so we can get these drinks going. Little John comes in, tells us when it's time to do shots. So when you hear him say it's a shot call, you'll know when we're drinking some alcohol. You can do the same at home.
He's a shot caller.
Nice, dude. I knew you would pep up sometime. So that's a good idea right there. Say it again. He's a what?
Shot caller.
Yes, there you go.
Everybody!
Today we'll be drinking some new Amsterdam red berry vodka Stu had before.
We don't know what kind of berry.
Oh,
It's just red.
yeah, red berry.
Yeah, it could be poisonous.
We'll find out, right?
I hope they checked first.
Yeah. All right, so cheers to a great show. Hope it goes well. I'm not crazy about it, but I can do it.
It's poison.
Dead. So ends the show. So yeah, this week has been pretty tough, but I'm gonna get through it because I went to the Warped Tour for my first time in 12 years. Took my daughter to it. It's actually, if you don't know what the Warped Tour is, guys, it's like a little or big, huge punk rock like tour that has been started since the early '90s or mid '90s, 1985 exactly. By Kevin
Really that
Lyman.
early?
Yeah, Kevin Lyman started the
Not
show.
around here though, right?
Yeah,
Around here in '95.
it was a U.S. tour. And now it's grown to the point where Vans sneakers used to like sponsor it. Now it's by Journey, the other store that sells sneakers and other teenage stuff. I started going in '97. Actually, my father took me, so it's kind of interesting. Now I took my daughter, who's like 15 years old now. So it's a lot has changed from 1997 to now. One other thing I want to mention is have you ever been to Camden before, Stu?
Yes, I have.
Camden is apparently worse than Newark, if you guys
It's
don't know.
the murder capital of the world.
Yeah.
Newark is only the car theft capital of the world.
They decided to have they actually had the first Vans Warped Tour there in New Jersey before they started having it in Asbury Park, which is where I went to the first time, and then they eventually brought it to PNC Bank where they have it now. So they have it at an amphitheater and everything like that. But this one in Camden, I actually drove out there, and I was thinking to myself, I'm hoping this is kind of like a small gathering of people because like a lot of people in New Jersey go to Homedale, which is like 20 minutes from us, where as opposed to Camden's an hour and a half almost away. And then I assume Philly has their own show too, but they don't. So that whole place brought mad Philly people there because whenever the crowd's like, "What's up, Camden? What's up, Philly?" They had to say both, And then like, "How many people are there from Camden?" And then people like, "Whoa!" Like no one fucking is from Camden at this fucking show. Don't fucking.
It's
lie.
all people from New Jersey
or
and they just,
or Philadelphia.
from,
Yeah.
from the suburbs of
Why-
New Jersey
yeah.
or Philadelphia.
There's no
yeah.
people in Camden in the hood going to a Warped Tour to see punk bands. So I don't know why they bother saying they.
Was there like one woo? It was like,
Well, anybody want any weed? Shit. No, it's like it's torn because you can't say what's up Philly because you're not in Philly. You can't say what's up Camden because people in Camden from the hometown right there. But they made it work. I want to just mention that the place is at the BB&T Pavilion, which is a amphitheater in Camden where they have like huge shows, everything like that. Usually when they have shows like that, festivals there, they put like the show outside, like. They set up stages on the what you call it the
thing?
outside amphitheater. They have it in the parking lot. They set up stages there.
Oh, in the parking lot.
And the reason I took my daughter is actually they had a little stipulation now. They're letting parents take their kids there and they get in for free. The parents get in for free. Hey Jay, have you ever been in a Warped Tour before? Being a
So
punk
you got
rock
in
fan?
for free? That's the only reason you went.
Yep.
I think the last time I went to the Warped Tour was probably in '98 or '99.
Really? Okay. Well, you got to listen to this. How it's different, way different now. Why'd you stop? Actually, let me find out your reason for stopping.
Most summers, and it was just I did it when I was in high school, and then in college. It was just hard to get everyone together to go.
Yeah. I actually was going by myself. As I said, my first time, my dad. Then I would go with other people, or I'd go with like my girlfriend, this and that. Last one I went to was 2004 at the Boston show. They had a 10-year anniversary, and they brought all like the old school bands back, Rancid and stuff like that, for one day. And I thought they'd do that 20 years later, but they didn't, so I didn't go to that one in 2014. And then I decided to take my daughter, like I said, because if you bring a kid that's under 18, and as long as you're over 28, you get in for free. I get to the thing, and they have like a parents thing. Like you go to the parents thing, and you go like,
They slap a big tag
Yeah.
on you that says parent.
They have when you get there,
You have to wear this the whole
Yeah.
show.
you get there, they have like the whole booth. They have like the booth says press, guest pass, parents. So I went up to the parent thing. They gave me my bracelet, and I thought to myself, because the whole way I'm going there, I'm thinking to myself, I have to show ID probably, put my daughter aside and prove that is my daughter. But they didn't even care. So I'm like, little stipulation for you guys next year. Just grab somebody and say that's your kid, and you get it for free. Because they don't even check. It's like,
Well, maybe she looks like you.
I think you have to bring an actual kid with you, like holding a child.
You
can't just
look
walk up there.
believable, and you look like you're in the age range.
Yeah,
and she is.
Does that mean I look old, you're saying? Because a lot of the parents here look old, which segues into the whole reverse daycare they have there. So parents who don't want to listen to that like punk rock like music, they go in this like tent, which I took a picture and put on Facebook. You go inside the tent, it says reverse daycare, no kids allowed. Inside, air conditioning, free water, a lot of lawn chairs and stuff like that, all set around this like flat screen TV watching Forrest Gump, and and they also watch Top Gun or some other Tom Cruise movie. When I went in there, I went in there periodically, and they had like the
Because it was air conditioned.
yeah, exactly, and free water. So I'm like, hell yeah, I'll be in there. And I said, you wait outside. I told my daughter, wait outside. I'll be in there. In there a minute. I walk around. It looks fucking desolate because all these like fucking like baby boomer parents just like reading books and trying to like sleep, whatever like that. It's just like, but they put the thing like right by like a stage, so you just hear music blasting like over, like fucking, fucking Tom Cruise saying like Johnny, Johnny. It's like, and you hear like Johnny, da da da. It's like. It looked pathetic though, so I was like, "This is gonna be my future as my little son gets older. If they still have this thing going on by then." Stu actually never been to Warped Tour before, being a
Nope.
punk rock fan himself. Why'd you never go?
I just never went.
I should all the times I went. That's my 7th time. I should have asked you to go to one. I didn't know you even liked that like that. You probably like more into like EDM at the time. I was going like
Yeah,
periodically.
exactly.
Yeah.
I was going to parties.
My rating for the thing is like this. I'll get into the whole Warped Tour compilation, which I promised you guys last week I'm going to review it. But I decided I'll review it myself and not have it bogged down because it's like 50 bands, whatever like that. This actual Warped Tour, reason I went, they actually had bands I liked, like Less Than Jake, Real Big Fish. Not really into Newfound Glory, but they're considered like, all those bands I mentioned are considered now the veterans, which is sad. Not sad, but it's interesting because I remember going from the get-go, seeing like the Descendants and Social Distortion, they were the veterans, and those bands were new, and now they're like the older ones. They're only like punk bands there. The only horns you'll hear are the like 2 bands that whole show. A lot of the new bands down there are bands never heard of, emo, screamo, like pop punk,
Metal Mo.
yeah. Just
I've never heard Metal Mo.
Whitechapel was there, and my daughter was like, as soon as we reviewed him last show, as soon as that guy started, she's like, I can't understand a word this guy's saying. And I'm like, sound like Cookie Monster, right? And she's like, he
Cookie
does.
Monster vocals.
And she's just like, see, it's a cookie. It's good enough for me. I'm like, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. And she could not handle that. So mental note, my daughter does not like deathcore. So so we had to walk away from that. 4 Year Strong was there. They're kind of like an easy core band. If you ever heard that term before, I like them. Yellow Car was there. Sum 41, they're kind of an older band. You know them, right, Stu? Sum 41?
Yes.
They killed it, honestly. They killed it.
Yeah.
Less Than Jake was the best band, I would say.
I know someone else that's a big Sum 41 fan, so it makes me not like them as much.
Why? What do you care? Jay, you went the year with 98. I'm going to say you went the year with Rancid, the Specials. Civ was there, right? Was that the one you went? No Effects, things like that? Bad Religion?
I'm pretty sure that was it, but it was a long.
That
long
is
time.
the Warped Tour I'm used to. Now we got these new bands and stuff like that. So I stopped going for that reason. And getting pissed, like the roster comes out, right? You're like, fuck, I don't even know what half these bands are. Fuck it, I'm not going. But I thought, hey, I'll go for free, which I might go next year if my daughter wants to go. She kind of liked it. But here's my thing I want to ask you, Jay. Like, I think that people like our age, if they kept the same bands, provided they didn't break up, the same years, they would get the less of a crowd coming anyway, because we get older, we get jobs, we get families, they stop going. So I think Kevin Lyman is doing a good job by like incorporating the new sound. It sucks that we're not into it and we don't get it, but maybe that's what happens when you start aging. What do you think?
That's business. I mean, if they're out there and do that concert to make money.
Yeah,
That's what you said, Journeys
yeah.
is out there doing. They're out there to make money, so they're gonna bring in the bands that the kids want to listen to. They know we're not going out there, so they're not gonna bring out all the.
It sucks that we're not though. We should keep going, but I don't know why we stopped going to shows. I mean, Stu's our age and he still goes to shows, but I think maybe it's because, like I said before,
But I'm the only one. You don't go to shows, Jay. You go to shows.
Not
No?
really, but I'm just saying
No?
if they kept the same roster,
Okay, I'm the only one that goes to shows.
if they kept the same roster as at the late '90s, you would go to the Warped Tour eventually, right? If they were having Descendants and like Hepcat and
yeah.
No Effects still playing it, you would still go.
Yes.
Pennywise, thing like that. But I'm thinking it's weird thinking that these kids, if they had that same thing, they would be like, I don't know these bands and not go. They're like, that's what the Warped Tour is about, like punk bands. And now I'm getting a sprinkle, a little like smidgen of punkness last weekend, and it's like, well, I'll deal with it. It's fine. Took my kid. She liked it.
Well, you should have went to freaking Summer Stage, Stone Pony.
I should have.
That
But
shit was awesome.
the thing about
It was all older heads.
yeah, but they don't have the reverse parenting thing there.
No, there were younger kids there too.
That was the
obviously.
whole
Like,
thing
the
about the
pit
Warped
was
Tour.
filled with younger kids.
I looked like the only parent I
It
saw.
was mostly
All the parents I saw there at the Warped Tour were like older than me, and the only people I saw like that were enjoying it like in the pits were like younger than me. I didn't see anyone my age there. It was all older parents, and they were there. They didn't know what a tent was, and the tent was like kind of full, so like they were just taking their kids, and they're walking around. The one guy I saw in line waiting to get an autograph for Less Than Jake had like a younger kid, which I was like, why do you want to bring a child to like the Warped Tour? Because they have like kids like 8 years old. One person had like a fucking 6-year-old like on his shoulders with like the big like headphones on to muffle out the noise and all the profanity and shit like that.
So that means you can't hear anything.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing
Yeah,
there?
why are you bringing you want to go to this shit that badly? It's like, damn. It's like, I don't get it, man.
You got a muffled kid. The kid's sensory deprivation.
Yeah.
Why don't you put a blindfold on him too, so he could be like, I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, Jay, you have actually 2 kids that are not into punk rock whatsoever. Would you bring them to the Warped Tour or something like that just so you can enjoy your show? It seems like a.
I don't think I would bring them to enjoy the show. I mean, they didn't want to go. They can stay at home. They're old enough now. I would go.
Yeah, I think this is like they don't have a sitter, so that's not. I want to go to the Warped Tour. No one can watch my kids. I'm bringing them to the Warped Tour.
And putting ear things on them and blindfolding them.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to blindfold them. I don't know. There could be some boobies in the crowd. Some girls lifting up their shirts. You got to put a blindfold on that kid too.
Yeah. Oh, so we met some bands. If you saw my pictures, we met Interrupters, who are going to be reviewing their album today. Let my daughter take a picture with them. We met Less Than Jake, and it's nice now meet Less Than Jake, Interrupters, who I interviewed. I didn't interview them. I actually been to shows and met them in person, and they actually know me. It's kind of cool, like we finally made it at Hybrid Radio. We're famous now. The bands know who I am.
Oh wow!
Yes. So they think, oh, New York show, right? And I got to tell them my name again, but still they recognize my face.
Yeah, and your burp.
In my burp, yeah.
Oh, it's Trail.
Yeah, so
What up?
that was awesome. Newfound Glory, kind of met them a little bit. And I never met them in person, but we kind of got some autographs, things like that. One other beer, man?
Yeah. Why? I gotta ask. I can't just
No,
go.
I was going to move my notes.
I can't just go into the case.
You're gonna knock my
Oh my God.
my script over. I didn't want to be like, oh, what do I say now?
I was just trying to reach into the sacred case for a
the
beer.
sacred case for the Bud Light.
There we go. It's nice and cool
Okay.
in there.
Yeah, so anyway, bands outside playing. Couldn't find the main stage because they have 2 main stages with like all the bands you want to see. And they tell me when we first walked into the whole place, they had the band playing actually inside the amphitheater on the actual stage, and I didn't know who they were, so I thought that's where they have the shitty bands. Go outside, saw the Interrupters. I'm like, where's like the main stage to see Newfound Glory? They're like, oh, it's inside the actual theater. I'm like, so where's the other main stage? Because there's 2. Like, it's the same stage. I go in, and they basically have the main stage like
Cut in half. Oh, that's weak.
I said the same. Like, you're all crunched up. Why don't they have?
Oh
this?
my God! Talk about the worst acoustics.
No, it's fine. The
music didn't
one
blend.
band.
What if you stood in between? Could you hear like
Yeah.
one band in one ear and one band in
Wait,
the other?
actually, no. You're right because when the one band's playing, when we went all the way to the front for Less Than Jake on the left side, and the other band was playing on the right side, like it wasn't coming out those speakers right there. It was just only coming out that side, but you can still hear it because you're inside the amphitheater.
Yeah, because it bounces around.
Which is fine, but the reason why they do that, Stu, is because the breakdown would take too long. Because
Too many bands.
once a band stops, the other band starts when they have to say this by them.
So you
each
just
other,
gotta
right?
go.
You remember that, Jay?
You gotta go up front, so all you do is hear that one band.
That was fucking hard as shit to get up front because everyone's in the pit or in the seats, and you can't. It was I didn't like the fact that it was inside because like it was hot as balls in there because it was a 90-degree day, so it was hot. It was hot outside, but hot inside too, and all these body stuff. And then if you once another band ends,
Body heat.
yeah.
That pit making heat like a big fire.
Like Jay, you remember this days? Like say like you see one band's playing at like on the left stage at like 6, and the other band you want to see is playing at 6:30. So you would stand on the other side and wait for that band, the first band, to stop, and then another band comes on. So you got to be, being that it would work best outside because it's mad room to maneuver around. When you're inside the amphitheater, it's like once the other band ends, you have to wait for everyone to file out while the other band's playing, so you can at least get a section. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, depending on the popularity of the band. Some 41, for example, like you have to be standing there for like 3 bands earlier if you want to like see them, because people were already had their shit planned there. So I didn't like the fact that it was inside, but I did like it at the same time because it was like cool, not cool like in an awesome fan factor, but kind of cool like not too hot, not too cold.
Yes.
The thing I want to complain about a lot, mostly about this shit, and I know, Stu, you're going to agree with me 100%, is the price of concessions. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
Why?
Burgers, pizza, $9.
Whoa.
Cheesesteaks, $12.
Ooh. And they're probably
Beer.
small, too.
Beer, 24-ounce can of beer, $14.
What?
I know. Fucking bullshit, that place. I don't know if they do that for every show at the amphitheater. I know I see shit at PNC Bank, and you got to...
Yeah, I'm definitely not going. I need like $2 PBRs, and then I'm happy.
If there were $6 for like a can, I would understand being at a show, or maybe even $8. But $14, and you're trapped. So that's where they got you. You can't leave and come back. You got to pregame. That's why people pregame at these fucking like sporting events or like these like Weezer concerts at tailgating, everything.
Just getting really fucking wasted and then just letting it drain out while you're there.
Can't do it, and
you're hungover by the time you're driving home.
And plus, you have to get there early. This shit's from like 12 o'clock to like 8 p.m. You got to get there like 10 o'clock, get hammered, and then by the time you get to like 1 p.m., you're gonna be sober anyway. So now you're trapped. Once you go inside, you gotta pay their prices. They know how to get you.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably why I smelled pot everywhere I went in that whole place. Stu, I wanna mention just one more thing before I get to the review of the actual compilation. Being that it was 90 degrees out, like I told them outside, there were no pants. Everybody was wearing like shorts because it was fucking hot. Unless you were in a band or actually part of the like security, everyone was shorts, which meant the women there. I don't know how you do it.
I do it so shorts.
I do it so easy because I'm married and stuff like that. But if you went to this shit, they weren't just wearing shorts. It was just basically bras and shorts. That's it. And I'm like, how?
Bras and shorts or bras and panties?
Shorts. Like jean shorts or what have you. Shorts. And
short shorts. Yeah.
I was about to say.
That's what I said from the beginning.
I thought you said panties.
No, I switched to panties when you said shorts because I'm thinking like regular shorts, like cargo shorts.
Well, regular shorts is...
Short shorts.
Yeah, short shorts for girls.
Thank you.
And bras and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you fucking like would keep your composure being a single man yourself.
Any chicks in sports bras?
Maybe.
But
here's the answer. I know how you would have fought this.
They wear nothing but the sports bra.
The way Stu would have fought this is the fact that the Warped Tour nowadays, when I started going, these people probably were like in diapers. That's what you tell yourself when you see these girls walking around. These girls are like 15 years old, maybe. My daughter's age, maybe 2 years older. So it's like, wow. Keep walking. So I would assume like you would. It was just skin everywhere you saw this thing. That's what festivals are like. I have a sister-in-law that goes to these things. These not the same thing, but the EDM things, and they're dressing like that. Now I think it's all around. It doesn't matter if it's like EDM or punk rock, or as long as it's fucking hot as balls, girls are dressing less. Warped Tour compilation, real quick. Basically, what they do, they take all the bands of the tour, they put them on 2 disc CDs.
Yes, that is the compilation.
one song by each band. One disc is like 25 songs. The other disc 25 songs, so 50 songs. We listened to the disc on the way down. It sucked. Mostly because there's a lot of bands I don't like, and a lot of pop punks and a lot of like stuff that's not even punk whatsoever. Like more like pop music, more like dancey stuff. Second disc got more like metally or metal. So I like the second disc better than the first.
Metalcore.
I know we reviewed the last compilation last year, but my rating on this new one, I'm gonna say it's kind of like a. If I was gonna rate it, I would say you can download it. What are you guys looking at?
Someone's scaring me.
Oh,
I'm like,
So
who's
I-
coming up the stairs? Who is it?
it's Mrs. S
Who
here
could it be?
to review the Blink album. So I'm gonna say that new album, the album's kind of a download. It's okay. So basically, other than that, if I wanted to rate the Warped Tour from best being like go all over, follow the Warped Tour wherever it goes, to worst, I don't want to say like burn the whole place down. Just maybe like burn the place down when the bands are warming up, so you don't kill all these innocent people. I say the new Warped Tour is kind
Only
of
a
like
few.
Warped Tours go if you can go in for free. Do my whole thing of get a kid, bring it in for free. And that was my whole weekend. Other than that, I am now what am I doing now? I am now a movie theater secret shopper. I actually did that last night when we saw Finding Dory. Basically, you get paid by a company to see a movie. You front the money, and then they pay you back. Plus, they pay you to see the movie, and you got to tell them how many people are in the theater, like how they rung you up, things like that. A lot of people in retail will understand that, but I didn't know they did. I didn't know they do that for movies. I found out from somebody I work with. They said they're secret shopper movies. I'm like, what? I want to do that. So I did that. It was okay. Finding Dory was not as good as the first. Mrs. S just joined us right now. What would you think of Finding Dory? Jake and I even talking, so give her the mic.
I'll be back
It
for the
was
emails.
it was just okay. I just find it very strange how, like, Dory. It's just upsetting. It's not funny when she's.
Yeah.
you
They
know,
took her-
She
they
can't
took her
remember
just-
anything. It's not really funny. Somebody doesn't remember anything.
It's like a
so-
fish with mental illness.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I didn't find it as funny as they did with Finding Nemo. So it was just okay.
Yeah.
I'd say rent it.
All right.
I heard there were lesbians in it.
We don't know. They were there for a quick second and left. They didn't like make out or anything like that.
But I heard it
didn't
was in the
see it.
trailer too, and was causing people not want to see the movie.
I-
And it's kind of stupid because you know who the voice of Dory is.
Yeah, true.
I think I recall they said somebody in like the marine park. There was two women together with a kid. I think I remember hearing about that, but I honestly didn't even catch that in the movie.
Ah, all right.
Yeah, the way it plays out, you don't know if the kid is theirs or you don't know if the two girls are friends or what. They just happen to see what happened and then they're
Somebody
like, oh my
just
God.
inferred
They
that
just assumed
and
they
like
were
freaked
together.
out.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, once you
Somebody's got a serious case of homophobia in
Exactly.
the lesbian range.
and plus Disney gets like pegged for like trying to put their like gay agenda into their
Oh,
movies.
like you mean like little dildos in the castle,
Oh,
or
the
like
Little Mermaid,
sex in the clouds?
Yeah. They get banned for that. They get like pegged for that all the time.
Yeah, but that's just the artists like lashing out, trying to put like their own little like mark on it.
Yeah.
Like it's like a little micro mark
Yeah.
in the film. Like, haha.
All right, before we get to Stu, I've been hijacking you too much. You need to tell us about your weekend real quick. But we gotta do more than that. Let's just join us. I wasn't sure if you were drinking or not, Mrs. S, but
One of us needs to take care of our kid later.
okay. You can have one drink.
My speech is gonna get slurred.
She might want to have one to really go in on that Blink-182 album.
Vodka does not. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, berry flavored vodka, amazing.
Sorry. Stewie, how was your weekend? What'd you do? Didn't go to any shows or anything?
It's
like
Hootie Who Stew to you.
that? Hootie, okay. Mr. Hootie Who Stew if you're nasty.
Yeah, no, I ended up spending a whole lot of money on investment. We'll just leave it at that. And
Drugs.
no.
Okay.
in an investment, so I have like no money, and
You're in a
I
pyramid
couldn't-
scheme, basically.
and I couldn't go out. I was gonna go see Sick of It All 30th year anniversary in New York at Webster Hall,
Mhm.
but I didn't have any money, and my brother was even like, I guess we're not going.
Oh, you
And I
trust-
was like, oh well, you want to give me money? He's like, no.
Wait,
So-
how did that conversation go? You were like, I'm not going, so he's not going?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
But
we both didn't go,
Mm.
but that's good. Then I saved my brother some money.
You saved yourself money, too, yeah.
Yeah, I had to say I didn't. It was money that I don't have. I can't
Oh.
spend it. I
Oh,
gotta.
he was going to...
I gotta be able to make it to next Friday.
He was going to sponsor you, and he didn't want to sponsor you, you're saying?
Yeah, yeah.
I
He
gotcha.
wasn't trying to sponsor.
Okay. Yeah, that sucks. We've seen him a couple of times, so it's okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's not like they're going to, like, die or something like that anytime soon. Hardcore will never die.
I'd rather see him before they die, though.
Yeah, not after, because that would be kind of lame show.
Yeah. What, like a hologram? It would be Sick of It All, the hologram show.
Or just,
Oh my God!
or just looking at their caskets and just like
It would be
watching.
holograms. You imagine if they did that? In the future, they probably will.
Mm.
And you can make a hologram of anybody.
All right, let's get through this music news since Mrs. S here and her time is valuable. All right, so a lot of things been going on in the news with the whole like police shootings and stuff like that. So quickly, I want to mention right now before we go into it, being that I'm, as you guys know, the guy that was selling CDs outside of the store. His name was Alton Sterling, and that happened in Baton Rouge. And then we had another case of police shooting 2 days later. Where was that, Stu? In Minnesota? From a guy whose name was Pelangelo.
Yeah. But he had a gun.
Sorry, I'm saying it wrong. I know it's not Orlando, but it's Poland.
But he actually
Philandro Castro?
Okay.
But he actually had a gun, right?
He has
Yeah,
a
so-
carrier permit.
Oh, okay. And he had a permit for it.
This,
Oh,
this is what I want to ask
that's,
you
that
if you guys agree
that
with me on
makes it
this
fucked up.
before we go on. Now, being that I'm brown myself, as you can see from our pictures like that, you're gonna assume I'm gonna pull out my soapbox, get up on my thing, and have a whole militant manifesto about how police suck. We didn't do like cop killer song or anything like that. And we should riot in the streets like that. But you might be surprised actually that my view of this is more not so black and white, no pun intended, as you think. But I'm thinking to keep our show more livelier and fun, I was saying maybe we forego and not really dive into this topic because it can open a whole doors thing like that of how we feel, how I feel about this and that, and we get a lot of hateful mail. Maybe I don't want to say the wrong thing and offend anybody about my view of the whole what lives matter, what lives don't. I don't know, Stu. What do you say? Do you want to skip this whole thing and not talk about it?
Because what happened the day after, and I
Yeah,
called it.
right.
I told my parents, I was like, this is bullshit. I'm like, it's only gonna be it's the same shit that happened like months prior. Like I could bring it up again. That's how I was able to predict what's gonna happen. I'm like, some cops are gonna get shot.
Yeah.
It was like the next day because it was New York that 2 cops got shot after there was some other shit.
Mm.
And then everyone's like, oh well, the cops after that.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, what I want to tell you guys
It
right
just
now.
bounces back and forth.
Yeah.
It's a little war going on.
What I want to tell you guys right now is, if you guys want us to really talk about this,
I was
this
able to
topic,
accurately predict that.
if you guys want us to talk about this topic, because Snarky Mark's not here either, so it'd be good to have him weigh in too. But if you want us to talk about this, we actually recorded this actual podcast 2 days ago, right, Stu? 2 days ago. It
What?
was 2 days ago Sunday. So now it is Tuesday. The show that we're talking about right now is already up on the website, right? Right?
You're saying that it's that this show is going to be
It's
up
already-
by
When they're
Tuesday.
listening to it, it's Tuesday.
It's
so
already-
I'm saying 2
Okay.
days ago is
Yes.
when you guys.
All right, thank you.
So if you want us to talk about this more, email us at njhyperradio@gmail.com, and we will actually do a special podcast maybe Wednesday night if we're available, and we'll talk about how we feel about this topic and go in more depth about it, because I think I don't want to bring the whole show down about about this whole police brutality thing. Are you all right are you okay with that, Stu? Do you want to go on it?
Yeah,
Another
yeah,
day?
yeah.
Okay.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Was this supposed to be part of music news?
Yeah,
Yes, because the person
was selling
Sterling
CDs.
was selling CDs out front of the.
Well, I mean, you could talk about that now instead of bringing stuff down. You know, like why was he pegged if he was?
Well, they
or
said
whatever, if
they said things were starting to get rough, and that he had supposedly had gotten a gun
while
Yeah.
he was selling
to
CDs?
defend himself when he
Well,
was
I
just
don't understand.
when he was just walking around town and selling his CDs, so no one would jack him
Yeah.
for his money or his CDs.
That's what I want
And
to get. I want to get all of us.
supposedly he got.
I want to
got
get.
a gun.
I want to get all of us in
And then he
away
threatened
on it,
someone
so that
with
way
it.
we're not stepping on anyone. We're not offending anybody's like
But
rights
it's-
because as much as people say that America is united, I don't think it is. So it's hard to like really have a bullet point.
No, we
answer on
totally
this.
have a caste system going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people. It's not. It's people
I mean,
have
a lot of people break through it, but we do have like a caste system.
people have different sides of things. It's not. It's not. If you say you're for one thing, people automatically assume you're against another. So I don't want to like. I want to make sure we get clear that I think all three of us, even though we're all friends, I think we all have the same opinion on this on these two things. But you find out being on Facebook, you don't know what your friends. You find out your friends have different opinions than you. So I don't know what you guys think. I don't know what Mark thinks, but we'll talk about this after we're recorded, and we'll decide if we'll do another show, another special podcast. And I just think it's best. I don't know. What do you think, Stu? You want to do another one later? We'll talk about it later. But the story I want to talk about, actually, I got from the Pitchfork.com, and it actually is a political story we can talk about real quick. The band that Snarky Mark's a fan of, if you listen to our best of albums from 2015, sorry, he said this album that from this band called Waves made his top 10. And the Waves band is banning homophobes and racists and Trump supporters from their shows.
Why Trump supporters?
I'm like, isn't that the same thing? Oh, I'm sorry. Don't want to offend
No,
anybody.
it isn't.
Okay. So he says
Stop it.
their Waves is getting ready to hit the road for the summer tour, but before they go, the band leader Nathan Williams wants to make clear whom he does and does not make music for, as well as whom he believes is welcome at Wave shows. So that day he tweeted, "People who are not welcome at Wave shows, anybody who said or supports hashtag All Lives Matter, anybody who's gone out of their way to defend police in America, and people who blame rape victims as well as homophobes, racists, and Donald Trump supporters." He acknowledges that he could lose fans, but concludes, "I'd rather have a room half full of good energy than one filled with hate. People are suffering every day, and the way I see it, you are either part of the solution or part of the problem." But one thing I want to say is, I want to ask you guys, is if you're a hashtag All Lives Matter person, does that mean automatically you hate black people? Like, why is that bad?
That actually was the one thing when you read it that I was kind of like, All Lives Matter supporters. I find that interesting. I think maybe they feel that if you're not a Black Lives Matter person, then you
They don't
some
want it-
kind of hate.
They don't want it
But
to swing
some
all the
people-
way.
Yeah, she's on the point though, because that's what I was saying. If you're for one thing, people say you're automatically against another, and I think that's fucked up the way the country is now.
But there's a lot of people that are All Lives Matter that they say that because they really truly believe everybody should be equal. Whereas other people think All Lives Matter means that you don't really like black people that much. That you don't think that they should have this Black Lives Matters campaign, which, a lot of people say, well, Black Lives Matter, we're trying to make a point that people don't think that they matter as much as anybody else. Not like we're just trying to rally up all the black people and say only, Black Lives Matter. So
Right.
I think it's people are just confused at what each, I guess, group actually is representing.
Yeah, it ties in the whole like gun control thing, and I think the same things too. What do you say about that whole thing?
Well, do you think the media goes after like incidents that are racy to
Racy, like
sell
sexy?
more? No, racy like black and white to sell more media.
Well, that's gonna tie into our whole podcast when we
I
do it.
really
Yeah,
think
it's
the
very true.
media definitely chooses what
You
to-
gotta put this
Sorry.
right there. Yeah,
I gotta really put it up against my mouth.
yeah.
Okay, so
Lick
I
it.
really think the media chooses what they want.
Because you know
there's
there's probably somebody that was white that happened to, but the fact that the cops killed him because he
We're
was
not talking
black.
about that. We're talking about the whole like Trump thing of that if you're a Trump supporter, you can't see this band play that you like.
What kind of music do they play? Like, because I don't really know who they are. Are they mellow?
Yeah, it's more like I would assume since Snarky Mark likes them, they're an indie rock band.
Because I mean, I feel like if you maybe like that type of music, then you might
You
not
don't like
be
Trump.
one of those
Yeah, yeah.
people to begin with.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are people. I mean, all types of people like all music. Like, wasn't there that one politician that wanted to play Rage Against the Machine as his thing, which doesn't make any sense at
Yeah,
all?
I think it was Rubio. Yeah, probably.
But it just doesn't make any sense at all. Like, how would you like that if you're part of the machine that they're talking about? But people, even if it's not really their opinion, still can like music. They might like it instrumentally, not lyrically.
I want to
so-
ask the question like how would they know? Do you have to tell when you go into the venue who you support on the campaign?
I don't.
How are they going to
I
figure
don't-
out what are your
Maybe-
stances when you go to see your show?
Maybe they just see if there's any hateful people, you're automatically going to get kicked out. I don't know what that would entail. If you're being rude to other people, I don't know.
Like you walking into the show, Donald Trump is the best thing that happened in America. Why would you say that at the show? Unless maybe at the band is going to be spewing a lot of like anti-homophobia, anti-White Lives Matter, anti-Trump stuff, so it will offend the audience. So don't bother going to our shows.
But I
Maybe that's
think-
what I mean.
I do think, like, I kind of like what they're doing, but then I don't because I feel like that's part of the problem. Is like, oh, these people can't listen to our music. Like that, it should be like, who cares? Everybody should be able to do whatever. Everybody should be able to listen to whatever music. So it's, it's a problem.
Yeah.
I think.
Me and you have a Trump supporter that likes good music. That's friends with us. It's actually a friend of ours, but we can't discriminate being friends with them. It's just that's their opinion, and we can't sway them. And you shouldn't bother swaying people. It's all an opinion, the whole politics thing, and it shouldn't bleed into your music preferences as well. What do you say, Stu?
Yeah, keep politics out of my music.
Unless you're Rage Against the Machine or Public Enemy, of course.
Anti-flag.
Anti-flag, yeah. In that case, put it in, or any country music artist from 2003. That was good. Good time, right, Stu? Like if
Yes.
I love everything you said about that. You weighed in really deeply on that. You all right?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? What's
Yeah, I
what's
talk too much.
what's bothering you?
Nothing.
You sure? Because
Yeah,
I'm talking about
you're
these.
just getting all heated. I can't talk
You
because
can't
I am a Trump supporter, and you lump them in with rapists.
So
and,
we're talking about that was what he
what
said.
happened
though.
to New York Ideals? He has New York Ideals. We've had all these Midwestern presidents.
We don't
Or
have
a
to-
Hawaiian
We've had
one.
all the it's been
We
all
don't have to
it's
talk about Trump supporters, but you're just saying it makes you angry that people group Trump supporters with other hateful groups.
yes.
That's what
When he's not like that.
I don't know. I
It's
disagree.
it's all media. It's all jacked up media to persuade you. It's
But he has said. I
it's
mean,
propaganda.
he has said hateful things about women and just awful things about women.
No, he said
He
funny
has.
things.
Funny.
Yes,
not all of it's
every single
funny.
one of those were funny as hell,
But people say it's funny. I don't.
and it
find
wasn't
funny.
crossing the line either.
I don't find it funny.
Yes, Stu. I think
You're
I
too
think-
sensitive then.
I think that's a.
But
I
that's
think-
another thing. People are like, "Oh, you're too sensitive." Well,
What do we really want a sensitive leader?
I don't want anybody that's in the running. To be honest, I think all politicians are awful people. They're animals.
Stu, you don't even vote. You can't be a supporter.
I know I'm not gonna vote. I still hope Trump wins.
So therefore, we can't even like have your
Well,
opinion
I'm,
on this
then
right
I'm
now.
okay with it. I'm probably not voting for either Trump or Hillary. I've come to the conclusion. So,
Yeah, well, Bernie still didn't endorse Hillary.
No.
I'm sorry, we're getting so political, you guys.
So there really needs to be more parties.
well, that's a whole different
But
thing
yeah,
that we
that's
will go
another
into.
issue
Yeah.
because
yeah.
we built
Trump-
it in such a way. That
Trump
it's
shouldn't
hard.
even been a Republican. He
Well,
should have.
Bernie Sanders shouldn't have been a Democrat either.
Yeah, all right.
And that's why I think a lot of people went to Bernie, a lot of people went to Trump, because people are starting to try to get away from the whole Democratic Republican system.
Yeah. We need
And
more
hopefully
parties.
Eventually it'll change.
We need more opinions on this whole
Independence.
topic.
More independence.
Little John, cue us off.
Everybody!
actually wanted Jay in for this new topic. We're gonna get into what the whole reviews now. We actually Mrs. S here, so we'll get into. Where are you going, Mrs. S? You want us to wait? Oh, yeah?
She's going to get him. I was
Okay.
just gonna scream to him. See, the scream worked.
God damn,
You
man.
heard the scream first, right?
It's getting
Or
too.
her walking towards you.
As you guys heard, we were about to have like a political debate. It's gonna be the fucking McLaughlin report right
Well,
here.
Yeah, whatever. We don't exactly agree. I have my reasons. You have your reasons. Yeah, and there's seriously like you're right. There is no right candidate right now.
Yeah. But you both agree that they shouldn't be discriminating who goes to see this band play. So that's cool. All right, so let's.
Well, obviously, you don't want people running around. You don't want people going to a straight edge vegan show with a 6-pack in their hand, wearing a fur and running around.
You're right.
You know, shit like that is just annoying.
But isn't that we're free and allowed to do that?
Yeah, we're free
No.
and allowed to do that,
We're
but
not.
Just because
But-
you're free to be an asshole doesn't
Yeah.
mean you have
Yeah,
to be an
it's-
yeah,
asshole.
you don't have to.
But if that's what somebody wants to do and they bought a ticket to a concert just to be an asshole, I mean, they bought the ticket.
No, I disagree. Freedom of speech does
No,
not
yeah,
happen
they're
anymore.
definitely
It's gone.
killing. That is definitely a vibe killer in that
Yeah.
situation.
Freedom of speech has stipulations.
You're asking for people to get at you, and that person will probably leave soon anyway. So.
After they get their ass kicked.
Or
So they want to
maybe,
get
yeah.
their ass kicked, so why not?
All right, let's get the happier stuff now, you guys. That's the way I was telling you when we happier, happy vibes, man. Our first review right now. Can we get some like illumination in here, Jay? It's so dark. I can't even see like Stu's sexy face.
Let there be light. Jason's
Want
like
any light on
God.
until Jason
Let
came
there
back,
be
he wanted
light,
to see his
Jason.
face.
He's the light
I
bearer.
realized it was dark here as the sun is
All right,
setting.
I'll stop. Because you're just talking.
I love you, Stu.
Ew.
No, I just want the light on. He's close
I don't
want to
be second wife.
Okay.
I'm
Uh,
not second wife.
So since Mrs. S is the guest for this review, Jay, you mind passing the mic? Beastie Boys
You
time.
had something for him.
He said it after I got here.
You got talking to
He's
the
like,
mic.
I
They're
wanna,
dynamic.
yeah, I wanna like say my. He said he listened to some of the music, right, for this band.
Which one?
Blink-182. Okay.
You got to talk to a mic.
I'm just gonna yell. If
Okay.
he picks me up in the background from before that he's gonna yell at me, I'm sitting over here. I'm good.
Cool.
They're
So
dynamic. There's no background.
we're actually
It won't
gonna
pick you
we're
up.
actually gonna have like 5 reviews on this basically. We'll do Mark's review at the end of this whole thing, and Mrs. S is gonna help me out with your Blink-182 trivia, being that you're
Oh, jeez.
a diehard fan.
I wouldn't say Die Hard. I used to be a Die
Used to
Hard.
be, exactly. To the point where you had your whole like room in high school
My whole
littered with like
basement.
littered with Blink-182 posters.
Mhm.
You bled basically. What would you bleed if you're a Blink-182 fan? What color would your blood be?
182 in the hexadecimal scale on a computer.
I couldn't think of something.
Okay.
I couldn't think of anything in this whole time, but here we go. So Blink-182, they're a pop punk band from California, and ironically, this album, their 7th album, is called California, and they're a 3-piece band, formed in 1992, and they're known for their fast, happy pop punk power chords, as well as their potty mouth juvenile lyrics.
By the way, they have said that they've been crappy since 1992. Just to throw that out there.
Thank you. See, lyrics that they're
It's good enough for punk rock.
lyrics have been handed down mostly by singer bassist Mark Hoppus and guitarist singer Tom DeLonge. And after the first 2 albums, 1995's Chester Cat and 1997's Dude Ranch, Blink started to see some small mainstream success, especially with the single Damn It. Sorry. Especially with the single
Damn it.
Damn It. I didn't mean to say like single Damn It. Okay. Also, around that time, original drummer Scott Rayner was replaced by the drumming prodigy Travis Barker, which I say at that point, if you want to agree, is when the band finally had some actual talent amongst the 3 of them.
I really like Dude Ranch, but I mean they got better
Right.
in a sense.
But once they released the 3rd album with him, Enema of the State, they blew up. When I say blow up, I mean stadium tours, massive airplay, platinum sales, MTV Music Awards, teen magazine covers.
Money for nothing and chicks for free.
Yes. Lunch boxes. Blink 182, the breakfast cereal. Blink 182, the flamethrower. Anyway, references. Sorry.
May the blink be with you.
So starting, they started adding more deeper lyrics and songs to their music from that point. For example, Suicide Theme with the track Adam's Song, talking about divorce on the song Stay Together for the Kids. Add to that, Tom DeLonge, the guitarist, started having an obsession with like post-hardcore and emo music, as you can see in his side projects, Boxcar Racer and Angels and Airwaves. Put all that together, and we get the 2003 album, the Untitled album, which was like a more experimental, alternative rock album. Now, what would you say as a Blink-182 fan about that album?
Which one was it?
Once they put all the emo and the pop, the post-hardcore together, and for that album, the Untitled one, 2003.
I honestly don't think anything was good after Enema of the State, to be perfectly honest. Like, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket was just like, and then it just went downhill even worse from there.
Stu, you're not saying much. Have you followed Blink-182 at all?
No, I've not followed Blink-182.
Okay.
It was one band that I always decided to not listen to
I'm gonna
for
keep,
no particular reason.
I'm gonna keep impartial with that whole thing up until now. So after like a hiatus, the band returned in 2011. With Neighborhood, which is an even more polarizing album from the fans than before. And then with this new album here that we're gonna be reviewing, the latest album, we have Matt Skiba from the gloomy Chicago punk rock band Alkaline Trio joining the band to replace the recently departed Tom DeLonge. Now, Stu said he didn't listen to their at all till today. So I think the three of us, me, you, Miss S, and maybe cousin Jay, heard the lead single "Bored to Death," and it's got a blatant immaturity sound to it. And I think the fact that the fact that they have Matt Skiba in the band, who has never made like a funny song in his life, and the fact that Travis Barker was in a plane crash that killed his friend, and later DJ AM was in the plane crash as well, ended up
Yes, I
overdosing
remember
and
that.
dying as well.
Overdosing and dying?
Yeah, at the same time.
So he just did mad drugs because he knew he was going to die.
He was depressed about the plane
Yeah,
crash.
he was upset that, like, his friend died in the plane crash and that he survived, and then he ended up killing himself.
Oh,
So I'm going
wow.
I'm going with the fact that we got basically Tom DeLonge is all like emoed out.
You know, I knew, you know, Veronica knew, it's DJ
No one knows who
AM.
you're talking about. Go
Is
back.
Is it DJ AM?
Yeah.
Okay, you know Veronica was friends with DJ AM and good friends with
Who?
His girlfriend.
Okay.
And I met
Nicole
his-
Richie.
Yeah, I met his girlfriend before.
Oh,
Yeah.
you met Nicole Richie?
Yes.
Nice.
Veronica.
Okay. Putting names out there.
You
That's
don't
cool.
you don't remember this?
I remember her, but I don't remember meeting Nicole Richie.
Oh, okay, I did.
Okay. So DJ AM's dead. Tom DeLonge is all into like emo and like post hardcore. Obviously Travis is sad about that. And Mark Hoppus has been putting his bass guitar much higher, not on the punk rock level. So putting all that together, when I heard that new song, Bored to Death, I said to myself, if any old school Blink-182 fans want to hear an old school sound, the best you're gonna get is the Untitled album, which Miss S hates. You're not getting any older than that. You're not getting Dude Ranch. You're not getting Cheshire Cat. You're not getting Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. You're getting that's the oldest you're gonna get from the band. And you said you said you didn't hear the song that played on the radio constantly before this album came out, right, Stu?
No.
Okay, so when I went to this album, I went with that speculation that that's the oldest one to go, and I was fucking wrong immediately. First song was called "Cynical." Fat, like you got the little like opening like bass lines. Remember that? It's that's
I
like
really like,
really
I did
happy,
like that song.
and
I
it
did
kicks
like that.
in. That
kinda-
song reminded me of MXPX, which is not an insult. It was like older punk rock, pop punk music, and I'm like, all right. I was like, this is gonna be pretty good, right?
It's that the first song made you think, wow, this album is probably going to be a really good album.
Yeah. What do you say, Stu? First song kicking off.
I listened to it shuffle play.
Oh
that's
man,
sad.
Stu, you gotta follow the whole thing, man.
Sorry, I didn't listen on a computer.
All right, Mrs. S gonna help me out
Listen
with
to it on my phone.
you. Me and the wifey are gonna go back and forth with that. Then.
If you wanna give me money so I can subscribe on my phone, I'll subscribe on my phone. But
Well, I thought the first song pulled me in, but then when we get the
I
second
normally
song.
listen to it on the computer.
All right, so when we mention a song that you recognize, you chime in.
Okay.
All right. Second song kicks off with the single we're talking about. Would you say that the distant drumming in the background reminds you of the song "Feeling This" from Blink?
Yes, I really don't like that song. I'm bored to death. I don't really like it that much.
You were actually literally bored to death with it.
Almost, because when I mean, I heard that before the whole album came out, and I was just kind of like, this is the song that they're gonna like put that's gonna like make people buy this. I was like, it's just kind of mediocre to me.
I
I
think
don't
that's.
hate it.
I thought it was okay.
But I don't
right,
love
yeah.
it.
Yeah. I thought it was
It wouldn't make me run out to buy an album.
I thought it was a fair song for what they're doing, and the first song makes us think we were wrong, and then we go to sing like, oh, maybe we were right, and then we get to the song "She's Out of Her Mind," and it's got like the and it's another song that reminds me of an older Blink-182 song. That song intro reminds me of a song off of "Take Off Your Pants and Jacket." Maybe the first track, maybe with the whole guitar thing going. And I think Matt is doing a great job of imitating Tom DeLonge's technique, as well as blending like the Alkaline Trio sound into his into what they're doing. But I found like as it went on earlier, it sounded more like Matt Skiba's like hijacking the band and making it sound more like Alkaline Trio than Blink-182. When it started off.
No, I really was annoyed by how he was trying to sound like Tom, and that's why you saw me the one day I started listening to more Alkaline Trio. I'm like, I don't remember it sounding like this, so I didn't like that. I think
disagree
he
because
just been like himself. The
Are
whole
you
time.
sure? Before we go on, are you sure you recognize when you hear Alkaline Trio the difference between when Matt Skiba sings and when the bassist Dan sings? Because you might get confused because their vocal sound is kind of like the same. He sounds like himself, I think.
I don't know. I felt like he was imitating Tom too much, and it was weird.
No. What would Cousin Jay? Would you say?
I was listening to it Stu last night, and I wasn't impressed. I felt like I've listened to the album before. Like it just sounded the same thing that they've done the last couple years.
Right,
Just
but
the same.
that's what we're gonna get.
I think that's what some people want.
So I don't have to say it, and he has the history of listening to them.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna get, though. That's what the best. You're not gonna get a whole new sound.
I also just with the album in general, I think like it kind of started out pretty good. The middle I thought was boring as hell, and the end I think had a couple good songs. But I also hated how there was all these. I mean, it's called California, but
Too many songs about California
because they have
states.
Los Angeles, San Diego, and they have to say Los Angeles a million times. They have to say San Diego a million times, and that's annoying to me.
Let's talk about Los Angeles. Actually, the song.
Okay.
I felt like that song is when it really got really more experimental. Like that song in Sober, it was when it was like more of the like Alkaline Trio sound, where they like Alkaline Trio's new sound is they like do different things. Like especially like Los Angeles has like the pianos coming in, like it's trading off from like different sounds going here and there, and drum techniques going more abstract than what you expect. It didn't sound like Blink-182 at all. It sounded like something like maybe Alkaline Trio would do, but I wouldn't say it's like it sounded like what Alkaline Trio is doing. And the whole thing I want to complain about mostly is I didn't like the whole fact that it would have like Mark Hoppus start off a verse, and then the chorus comes in. Then we go to like Matt Skiba. The whole technique of I go first, then you go second was like very like prominent on this whole album. What would you say?
Sure.
You didn't notice that? Okay. I also like the way Mark was trying to like harmonize with Matt, even though Matt is like more dominant with like his vocal sounds. I thought it was like I thought like it was pretty good. All at the same time, it was like too much more like what Alkaline Trio does. No Futures is an example of what I'm talking about. And a song like Miss S is talking about that was like kind of like bland. I would say it's a song called "Home Is Such a Lovely Place." It's like the boring like cheesy song. Did you hear that? It's like a more like acoustic like a guitar song.
Yeah, I get bored with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was. It was kind of like they're trying to do something different, but it wasn't like it wasn't like a fair song. Stu, what's wrong, man? You're weird, man.
Stu's having some technical difficulties over here.
Okay. Stu just gotta like focus on reviewing, man.
Anyways, next part of this.
No. Yeah.
I'm gonna disagree with
Sorry.
you. I want to say
Technical difficulties.
All right, I'm gonna say easily like the album got better after that song because I feel like once they got the like songs like King for the Weekend and Teenage Satellites is when it was like a more pop punky tone thing, but they were like meshing like this is what Blink-182 does, like hints of it. This is what Alkaline Trio does, hints of it, and they like mesh together and create their own unique sound. So after that album, I think the second half was getting like kind of better. God damn it, Stu! What's wrong with you?
What?
Say something.
I'm busy.
Well, stop being busy. Review.
Sorry. I
You
was
like
having
the
side
album.
chats. Did I? Which album? Blink 182?
Yes. We've been talking about.
Meh.
Nothing you enjoyed? No
Um,
songs you liked? We mentioned like 4 or 5 tracks.
It was
had no-
alright. Wait here.
There was one song I enjoyed, just because I thought it was kind of cool how they took a whole bunch of all their old songs, were playing the same chords, little snippets.
Where's the mic there? You got to put it to your mouth, dude.
It's close enough.
Now it's close enough.
I go the old school way.
All right.
It's dynamic.
Not sure what song it was, but that one was pretty good.
Capacitor mics.
Okay.
Picked up more.
I want to give props to the producer whose name is John Fieldman, who is actually the guitarist and singer for Goldfinger, producing a lot of pop punk bands for years to come, and I can hear what he's doing. He's in his producing technique. Did a good job with like he not only produced the album, but he helped write some of the songs as well on this record.
What, really?
Did a good job with it.
It's produced well, I give
Yeah.
it that.
The na-nas and the woes are like very like
Yes, you gotta have your na-nas and
what
woes,
is the word I'm
right?
looking for? They're very like they're very like organized and very like
Quantized.
obsequious. I don't know. That's a weird word to use for this.
Is that a word? Did you just make up? You
I
just
don't
made
know
up a
it.
word.
Challenge that in Scrabble. Play that in Scrabble challenge.
Yeah, obsequious is kind of like
Let's
like
Google it.
subservient.
Obsequious?
They're subservient. Like they're orderly like pop punk vocals for a standard like produced record. For the long story short, I want to say
It is a word.
like Mrs. S mentioned this song San Diego. I kind of like the California themes they were doing, and some of the guitar patterns and the tempos like Border Death are kind of the same on certain songs. So I'm gonna take points off for that. They're doing the same thing on like they did on the earlier stuff, but on some songs they kind of were doing more unique stuff. Stu, wrap it up right now. What are you gonna say to close this album? What is your rating?
Be a skip this. Is that all right? I'm sorry.
Yes, it is, because I'm gonna go second.
You're going second.
And you didn't listen to the whole album, right, Jay?
I would go with listen to this.
Okay.
Is it
Now let me a rating.
Is that a rating?
That's not my rating.
That's not a rating.
I say
So,
listen
like,
to it.
download,
I'm old school. Give it a listen. Borrow a CD from a friend.
borrow
Okay.
it from the library. That could be one.
There
Great.
it goes.
Great. I'm gonna say there were a couple throwback fast punk moments on here, and there are actually 2 funny songs in this album. 2 songs called "Build This Pool" and "Bohemian Rhapsody" that add up to a total of 45 seconds of comedy. This album is basically like going on a ride with several like bumps and potholes on the way, but the Dole or Alkaline Trio moments were about equal to like the new creative moments. Lyrically, it's got the adolescent angst topics that Blink-182 is known for, I think Matt Skiba did a decent job. I disagree with her. He sounds like himself.
I like him better than Tom, so I didn't like how he tried to be like Tom, but I do prefer him to Tom.
Yeah. I enjoyed this more than Neighborhoods, but that's not saying much. It's just slightly better, so I'm going to say this album you can download. It's all right. Go ahead. The final rating matters because Mrs. S is the
I'm apparently an expert.
expert of the band. That's
Um,
why you're here.
I think that if you like all Blink-182's music, then you should buy it. I think that if you just like their old stuff, then you should download it and then decide for yourself because you can go either way. If you've never really listened to Blink-182, sure, download it too. If you don't like pop punk, then definitely just skip it.
Are you covering everything? What are you
I
going to
am.
rate?
But the
Because there's
download-
different
but the
types of
download
people.
are 2-1, so I think download wins.
What would you rate it though for yourself being who you are?
I'll just listen to it on Spotify when I feel like it, but it's not going to be often
So
because
that's
I didn't
a
like it that
download
much.
this.
So you said download it. It's okay.
That seems like a
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so too.
that seems like a download this.
All right. And you were worried when we were like not telling each other what we thought of this whole album the whole
I
time.
actually thought it was better than I thought it was going to be honest.
Yeah.
Even though I still wouldn't buy it, I still thought it was better than
Yeah.
what I thought.
So finally, you guys got it. So what do you guys think of the new Blink-182 album? Let us know in the comment section.
Hooty hoo! Skip it.
Did you like it? Did you hate it? Tell us what your rating would be. And cool. Email us our lengthy comment or make a short thing in our comment section. We love to know what your opinions are. Want to say thank you very much, Mrs. S, for being here. Also, thank you to Cousin Jay for helping out. You want to hang out for a little bit for a couple more reviews?
I'm going to go catch Pokemon and then go get our son.
Nerd.
Yeah.
There's a Pokemon on First Ave.
Nerd.
Telling you. And I saw them trying to take out that gym.
Jeez. Oh, before we go on, I gotta go to our to do our Marks ratings. So Snarky Mark said his album is a download this, and he would have said probably, yeah, the songs are all right. Some are good, some are not. I mean, the whole build the pool thing was like short. Like I want to see niggas in the pool. And Bohemian Rhapsody was like, oh, I want to put my finger somewhere. It's like, what are you guys doing? Like, I don't know. I don't really listen to them that much before, but I would say, yeah, it didn't bother me too much, so download it. There you go.
That
Mark's
didn't
review.
sound very snarky.
Yeah, he wasn't too snarky on that one, right?
No, he
thought it
wasn't
was okay.
snarky
Yeah.
on that one.
All right. They seem pretty nervous on that, right? Well, actually, you did because you were being weird. Dude.
What?
You were like,
I was
dropping
busy
shit.
doing shit.
You gotta be focused, man.
I'm sorry. There was side shit that went on at the show, and I had to handle it.
Mm.
Otherwise, catastrophe could have
You
occurred.
had to, right?
Yes.
Okay. Drink your shot, man. Little John is looking at you like, what the fuck? Yeah. There we go.
Woo!
Next review up here is by the Interrupters. Their album called Say It Out Loud. They are a ska punk band from Los Angeles who just released their second album on Tim Armstrong's label Hellcat Records. What's wrong?
No, I was trying to get Jay.
You don't need to be here for that.
Yeah, he listened to them with me.
What? Hold on. We'll redo this in a second, you guys. What the fuck are you talking about listening to? Where were you guys?
I was hanging out with him last night.
What? Where
Yeah.
was I?
Right here. No, you were at your house. I was here with Jay.
Why didn't you tell me to hang out with you?
Why
I had to do the Finding Dory thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, all right. You
Sorry.
were busy.
I was busy.
All right.
I get invited to places. I can
Damn,
invite
I'm
to
not
one-
allowed to hang out with other people?
not without me. It's family, man.
All right, I was hanging out with your family.
All right. Take two. The Interrupters, Say It Out Loud. They're a ska punk band from Los Angeles who just released their second album on Tim Armstrong's label, Hellcat Records. The band consists of front woman Amy Interrupter, aka Amy Allen, and the Bivona brothers, Kevin, Justin, and Jesse on guitar,
Three brothers?
bass, and drums. Yes.
Three brothers? Oh, man, that's like the pizza place that got me sick. Three brothers.
Now, this group is primarily a two-tone ska revival band. From the fact they have their UK influence, like traditional upstrokes, to the rude boy black pants and white dress shirts and skinny ties that the guys in the band wear. Little thing for you, Stu. Before this, Amy was an indie pop solo artist, but when the band formed, she joined them in 2012, and she switched her vocal and singing to a more like slurred, like folk, fake British style. So imagine Brody from
A fake Brit.
imagine Brody from the Distillers
Bat tray.
or old school Courtney Love, and that's how she sounds. Or maybe a female version of Tim Armstrong. Would you agree? It's kind of like a "What's your plan? Put them all like that, right? But it's a girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
All right. I don't know. I don't know if you listened to it at all. And the song I'm just actually singing is from the debut album, "Take Back the Powers." Take the Power Back is the name of the song, which you might have heard on a T-Mobile commercial. That whole first album, the debut album, the self-title, is like a feel-good ska reggae punk tunes. And basically, if you're a fan of Rancid and Out Come the Wolves, the first Interrupters album...
There was a woman
is right
on
up
the
album.
Interrupters?
The whole album, you know, was a girl. The whole album is a girl.
It's
Yeah.
a girl?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Is she that raspy that I thought it was a dude?
I guess. Or maybe you were too high to notice.
What?
Not putting you on the
I
spot.
was
or anything.
fucking drinking Mad Gin, but that's about it.
What would you say about this record so far? I don't have a lot to really going on it, but what would you say, Stu, listening to it in your
I didn't know it was woman,
Uh-huh.
but it was good. I liked it.
Any songs you like more than others, or did you feel like it was like all the same?
No, I listened to it in shuffle play, so I can only give it a rating on what I had listened to. I didn't know that was a girl.
Mm.
She sounds like a dude.
All right.
Sorry. I'll have to put it on again. Like I'll
sure
tell
you
you.
should, the girl, but we will do that.
Okay, all right.
So the lead single on this song is the first track called "By My Side," and the song "Babylon" as well follows the same themes as the first album. Upbeat ska jams with the intentions to have you skanking and singing along nonstop. Of course, you'll hear plenty of gang vocals and backing organ keys, right? But also, there are straight garage punk songs as well, such as the song "On a Turntable," which has an amazing woes, by the way, like the woes on that song, and "Control," which has the angry aggression of a Joan Jett song. Songs like "The Prosecutor" or even "Phantom City" go for that more late 70s ska that the bands like the Specials were known for. You remember that song, Stu? That had actually like the horns, stuff like that? "Phantom City"? And it had Tim Armstrong on it as well.
Really?
Maybe you mixed up Tim Armstrong with Amy on that one particular song, but he's on that track as well.
No, I'm telling you, I thought it sounded like a dude. Wait, hold on. I got backup now. Jake, quick. I need backup.
All right.
Here.
Now, did or did not the Interrupters singer sound like a dude?
He did.
You both were drunk. It's a girl.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a mind
It's,
blower.
yeah, it's mind blowing.
Ooh.
See, I told you, I got backup now.
All right.
I got
Just
backup now.
dropping
That's
knowledge
two
bombs,
people.
Darrell.
That's two people that thought
No.
it was a dude.
All right. So I guess I'm wrong on that one. Actually, the song I'm talking about, "Phantom City," had like the second half of the album. I thought was like had like a lot more horns going on from that point. But you guys listen to it shuffle, so you know what I'm talking about. But basically, the lyric topics on this whole album are pretty much the same thing that they do on the debut album. They talk about family, friends, domestic violence, unity, and a bit of politics here and there. My rating on this whole album, I would say I think this album sets out to do exactly what it does. It's like fun ska songs mixed with energetic punk tunes here and there.
With a dude singing.
Actually, this one seems more punk rock than the first album. And true, some of the sounds are a little repetitive.
Dude, I gotta listen to it all over again. It's gonna be a whole nother new experience.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a whole new experience knowing that it's a girl.
You'll get Stu's review next week.
Yeah,
on
I,
the-
th- I thought the songs were like repetitive from
Why
what they
couldn't you
do.
just tell me that? Is this gonna be a whole new experience? Like listening to it again and being like, "Oh, that's a girl." Oh,
I didn't know you didn't know. I'm sorry.
what? I'm not the only one that did it.
Yeah, but you both were hammered at the same time.
Yes, we were both hammered
Yeah.
at the same time.
So I want to say they were on the same they're on the same path as the first album, but I understand that's what they're doing. They added some horns, it's fine, but I like what they're doing. It's a really enjoyable band, really enjoyable music. So if you're a ska punk fan or like good music whatsoever, you should buy it. Good listen. Stu, what do you think?
I think it's definite download.
Because you realize as a guy now,
It's a high
girl?
time. It's a high download.
Hold on a second.
Like you really should download this.
Why would you not go higher though?
Well, would I not go higher to buy this?
Yeah. What was the problem?
Because it dropped because I found out it was a girl.
Shut up, man. Go to your original rating.
It dropped because I found out it was a girl.
What was your problem? Why didn't you like it?
The original would have been to buy this. It would have, and now I found out it was a girl, and I feel deceived.
Your rating.
I feel deceived.
You can't change your rating. What?
I feel
what-
deceived.
Go buy
My
the
ears
music.
were tricked.
Whatever, man. I'm sorry,
Download
you guys.
this.
I'm sorry, you guys. I pushed already. I'm sorry, you guys, that Stu's being biased on this whole thing. Do you want to rate it at all, Jay?
Jay.
I would go buy it. It reminds me of a lot of albums back in the
Oh,
day.
see, he doesn't want to run into the same shit that I had
You know,
run
it's
into.
like, just like that one album you have. Like, I had like the one Say Ferris album.
Right.
I had the one Toasters album. And I was like older, I got more, but back then this would be like that one album from that band that you had in your car.
It's fun, right? When you heard the songs, you could definitely like. You couldn't like not help yourself from like doing the whole like Running Man white boy style skanking thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can
No, totally. It made me want to skank. Yeah, it was good shit.
They are doing exactly what they want to have happen to you on the
They
record.
sound like a younger Rancid doing ska.
Yeah, I was saying they sound like the Rancid album I mentioned before you were gone, Jay. If you like "And I'll Come the Wolves" by Rancid, you'll like this album. Perfect blend, and even their earlier stuff. But let us know what you think in the comment section. If you heard the Interrupters album, if you like it, did you hate it, and what would you rate it? Your opinions are great. You're awesome. It's great. Tell us what you think. Oh man, I can't talk anymore. Too much alcohol.
Oh my god, we barely hit that shit.
I know, but I'm drinking all these here.
Oh yeah, we've got that's Mad Buds down.
Now,
Mad Buds down.
and now,
No!
and now for the Snarky Mark review. I'm not really a ska guy, as you know, because the Slackers review.
Stop.
Slackers
Don't
album,
impersonate him.
the Slackers album from
He listens to these things,
the Slackers
He
album.
He does listen to these things,
The Slackers album from that we reviewed is like a ska band from New York, and I don't like ska music, even though the album is amazing. So I'm not a ska person guy. This album, I would say, skip it. It's not for me. It might be for you, but it's not for me. So skip this record. Listen,
Fuck you, Snarky Mark.
listen to some actual.
Fisticuffs right now.
Listen to some actual indie bands that are doing like more unique music, but I'm not into this music at all. How was that? Was that good?
Yeah.
Thank you. Go on, Jay. What were you saying?
I'm saying I gotta go back to this whole Warped Tour thing. I'm looking at your Facebook photos
Go ahead.
there. I'm seeing them. Now here it is. I see you had your Hybrid Radio shirt on, right?
Shot.
did.
Shot.
Where
Shot.
where was your
Boom.
daughter's?
She wore a Less Than Jake shirt. You saw that, right?
But see, you gotta capture that younger audience. They're gonna look at you and be like, "Am I gonna go to that website on that guy's T-shirt?
You're right.
Or am I gonna go on the 15-year-old girls that looks like she's kind of cool?"
The girl that looks kind of cool because I'm not as cool as she is.
You're the one lone
If you,
parent
if
walking around.
you want to be honest, when you go to the whole like I like your shirt like comments, she got 1, I got 0. So we're not there yet, you guys. But the more listeners we get, the more we get popular, the more people will recognize the shirt I wore. But I just wore it just in case.
We're only popular with the elite. It doesn't help. We don't have a huge fan base of money spenders.
But less than Jake does.
Okay.
That's why she wore her shirt. And I'm like, you sure you want to wear that shirt? Do you want to be that guy? And then she's like, I'm like, what other band shirt she has? I'm like, and she's like, I got the Voodoo Ghost Girls, which is a long sleeve shirt. I'm like, it's gonna be fucking hot as balls. Where's that Body Count shirt I bought you? She has no idea what it is. Remember we saw Body Count, Stu, and I bought her that shirt.
Yes.
She lost it.
She lost the body count shirt.
She did. I know, right? Body Count.
Oh, the king of the pit was even there. You remember that guy? He knocked the beer out of your hand?
Oh yeah, before them though.
King of the pit. King of the pit
Tell
came
the story
out.
real
was
quick.
like,
We'll get the last review. What happened? I'll tell a story from my perspective. But what did you see?
Okay, my perspective. I buy you a beer.
Right. That's why you members.
Yes.
I pay for that shit.
I paid for the beer. Handed it to you.
Uh-huh.
You're out there, at the edge of the pit, drinking a beer. A nice Pabst Blue Ribbon, I might add.
A very expensive drink.
Yes, it was a very expensive
That's high
Pabst
class.
Blue Ribbon.
Yeah. I was being classy with my in my fucking wine glass with my Pabst Blue.
And King of the Pit decides he wants to rough some shit up to open it up and show no, nobody can withstand me. 7-foot black guy, leg flying right at Jarrell's beer. Boom! Nails it. He does this spin around kick and just nails your beer right out of your hand like he wanted to. He was like, beer, I'm smashing it.
He did like a field goal kick of my beer.
Yes. There was no way you were holding on to that beer.
It wasn't even for Body Count. It was for the earlier band. What was the band called? Madball.
Madball, yeah.
And he did
you can't forget Madball.
Yeah, he's you go to a show and it's not a lot of people there yet, but it's like a whole pit going on there, and it's like a circle
Dude
pit.
was huge. He was like, I'm the king of the
kicked
pit.
my shit on my
Dude,
hand.
He would just maul anybody.
I think it was an accident. Honestly, it was an accident.
No, I think he totally straight up aimed for the can in your hand and
straight.
that
I'm
shit
straight
out.
edge. Kick my shit on my hand. All right,
Yeah.
well, whatever. You bought me another one, and all was good.
Yeah.
But she lost the shirt that I lost the beer for. But whatever. All right. Last review tonight, or today, or this afternoon. Direct Hit. Ironically, what you said. The band's called Direct Hit. Album's called Wasted Mind. They're a Milwaukee pop punk band who just released their third album, and it's their first album on Fact Records. And they are known for rapidly releasing EPs in between full-length albums. Do you know that, Stu? This
Really?
Band, how many EPs would you guess this band released?
So they're going for
Longevity.
They're no. They're going for quantity, not quality.
Right. Well, I'll answer this right now.
They sounded like 4-track mix.
They
It
released
sounded like a 4-track onto fucking tape cassette.
They released 13 EPs from 2009 to 2016 with the 3 albums they did, to be exact. And their last album, 2013's Brainless God, was a pre-nuclear apocalypse conceptual album that made a few best-of lists in several punk rock magazines and websites. And my concern with bands on the Fat Records label which Fat Mike from Low Effects Science is this. And I mentioned it before with the band we reviewed before. Stu, remember we reviewed Pairs in May, another band on Fat Records. Fat Mike is obsessed with like getting the whole like old school like punk rock sound to the point where he's like obsessed with like the 80s punk rock scene. And I don't like the fact that he's like I'm so old. I want to hear old punk rock. I want to hear bands talking about like drugs, stuff like that. I want to hear bands talking about like the vintage sound. You know what they're talking about, right, Stu?
Yeah.
I'm worried when I hear this band.
He wants the real gutter shit.
Yeah, he's all about gutter punk, street punk music, and bands don't like when they sign in their label. As long as you follow that critique the criteria. Is it criteria a word?
Yes.
Okay. As long as you follow that criteria, he'll sign you immediately. Demo tape goes in, like three chord harmonies, thing like that. He signs you right away. So I was afraid to listen to this band. I don't want to hear him. But being that I'm under 40, I like the intro track, which is called "Message to the People." It's like a 50-second song talking about if you're under 40 or over 40, you might not like what you're gonna hear. And it goes in it builds up into the chaotic punk track, "Artificial Confidence," which adds it even more energetic sound to the band. Stu, what's another band you listen to that's not like on a shuffle playlist, or was it shuffle? What you listen to?
Yeah, I listened to it on shuffle, but it sucked.
Why?
It sucked.
Everything sucked.
Yeah, it sounded like a shitty punk band.
All right, go on.
I already told you it sounded like 4-track mix.
Well, the thing I noticed is the singer whose name is Nick Woods.
Their production was shit.
I love the fact that he was doing different vocal sounds. Like he would do like vocal styles. He would do like singing and he would do like hardcore screaming. I like that. That was good. You didn't notice it? He was doing like screaming, singing.
Yeah, he
Screaming,
sounded like a
screaming.
bad Sum 41.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh,
Mad
you got
Sum 41.
All right.
I like. You didn't notice that?
Nah.
All right. My example.
Nah,
my
I didn't.
example of a great track
I
on
thought
this.
it just straight up sucked.
The song called "Paid in Brains," drug song, of course, which like combines like the traditional like Fat Records like bands with the melodic like punk rock sound of the hardcore bands like Kid Dynamite, Philly band. You know that band, right, Stu?
Yeah.
Hardcore vocals, singing. Hardcore vocals, singing. It's great, man. I thought it was good, man.
I'm
for the most
allergic.
part.
I'm allergic
You
to
like
it.
Promised Land adds like the piano and the saxophone solo during the bridge. I thought it was amazing, dude. It really proves that Direct Hit is trying to like bring some musical like range to punk rock. And also the song, the album peaked for me with like the potential hallucinogenics track. Was it the acid? Remember, I like how it's like mentioning like weird like I see this, I see that. I'm on a fucking ship. Was it the acid? Was it not? I thought it was a good song. And that's when it actually peaked for me.
What?
Yeah, you know it's that song.
We stopped
What?
before that, Stu. We gave up long before that song.
What?
All right, you guys give your final review and I'll wrap up. What did you not like about it? How many songs did you get in before you gave up? 6?
It was about 3.
3.
Yeah.
Now,
Consecutive sucking songs.
okay. Well, you fucked up, man. It kind of like gets kind of like weird and like saxophone solos, pianos. It's really like going everywhere. It's weird. It's weird. That's what's like weird in a good way. And the song I'm talking about that is was the acid was great. And a song called Bleach Music is like got like a really distorted like a bass and drum beat rhythm. Like imagine a punk rock version of My Sharona. when a song starts off, it's like exactly like that song. And also
We
great
didn't listen to enough then.
great Beach Boys surf pop backing vocals too. Infinite Pills, Infinite Alcohol is another song, and it puts all the drug references into one catchy sing-along tune. And I like the hardcore punk closer, Do the Sick, add some like Jerry Lee Lewis / Little Richard-esque piano for an abrupt yet effective bookend to the whole album. Now, besides this being a brief but fantastic listen, this is a direct. I would say Direct Hit does make their influences not blatantly obvious. I'm sure they are fans of NoFX and like bands like Leftover Crack, but they don't sound like Leftover Crack or NoFX whatsoever. I would say the music is like fun, catchy, and at times insightful. Really like the way they incorporate organs, horns, and the vocal harmonies throughout the whole thing. The melodic sound of this group is great.
Yeah.
I would say buy it. Long story short, buy this album. Amazing band. Good job, Fat Mike, signing a really hardworking group that is like putting all the different sounds together and being unique with what they do. Now, without further ado, get the biased opinions of people that only went 4 songs in. Go ahead, Stu.
Sucks.
It sucks because Stu was not fair listening to this album. Skip this, right? Skip this? Stu, skip this?
Wait. Skip this.
Cool. Jay, what would you say?
Well, right now I'm trying to figure out if
It sounded
it
like
was
4-track
actually
mix.
the same album.
It was horrible.
Because what I listened to last night was a bad local. They
It-
sounded like a
it
bad
sa-
local
it-
band.
yeah, it was
like
horrible.
The first build.
Yeah, you fucked up by skipping around and going 4
Do they
songs in.
do they have their old 4-track mixes on Spotify as well?
No.
Okay.
You
was-
fucked
Well,
up.
that's what I listened to.
Your phone's fucked up, Stu.
No, my phone's not fucked up. That's what I listened to.
Your phone should play from beginning to end, and it's in the order, not skipping around. So I'm sorry, you guys out there. Stu's not doing it right, and
No. Don't even blame it on that. No. I know what I heard. I know what I
heard. 4
heard.
songs randomly.
I know what I heard, and it was crap.
All right. Well,
What I heard was crap. There may be good shit on there, so that's still a skip this.
I push it for you. All right, cool. So let us know what you think in the comment section. Did you like the new Direct Hit album? Did you hate it, and what would you rate it?
It's got to be all good.
Email us.
I don't
or
want to
put it in
hear
the
crap,
comment
and there could be good shit. No.
section. And now finally, we'll do the Snarky Mark review, and he says, "Yeah, this band kicked ass. Like they're doing different things, and I like that.
Oh fuck!
It's awesome.
Oh, he's not here.
It's like they're putting pianos and backing harmonies. It's not what I would expect from like a Fat Records band. So
The
I
fuck,
say-
Mark?
I would say, yeah, you should definitely buy this album. Sorry, you're outnumbered on that one. And that concludes the show. We're doing great time, only an hour and a half in. It goes really well with being drunk and the fact that you're not contributing whatsoever, and you're so stoned and everything like that, Stu.
What?
Called you out.
That's bullshit.
Let's go to the emails. Signing on right now.
Let me get in the case.
Sorry.
Want some beer? God damn it.
Always an empty. For the road. We actually need a Mark here for the wrangle us because we're getting pretty hammered here. So as I said, we got an email from
Wait, am I the only one?
yeah, we got one
Yeah,
from
we
you.
got an email from one of our own.
Yeah, from I figured I'd sign him in case we got some more.
You know, you could have made it a little bit more mysterious. We could have thought it was somebody else.
You've got mail.
Yep, it's from Jay. That's all we got today. So email us your questions or comments, you guys, because we can't we can't perform for you unless you email us some fascinating questions.
Can't be somebody we directly know,
Actually, a lot of the emails I got,
but it is.
a lot of emails I see right here are from people that were talking about the whole police shooting, but I don't want to go into that. So we'll address your emails into one podcast next time.
Okay, you got a bunch of emails on that.
Not a bunch, but maybe a few. I see a few,
A few.
a small percentage. All right, so this is actually from cousin Jay, and he says, "I'm one of your followers on YouTube, and I just had a few comments about the podcast I would like to see brought up in your upcoming version of the show. So I will not read all 10 of his questions,
Oh, come on, they're all good.
but he says, why doesn't Stu get more airtime? We need more Stu.
Yeah.
Why are some of your drinks for girls?
I
Clear
need to
alcohol
talk
is
more.
for which women
I just need to
on
talk
diets. Clear alcohol is what we're drinking right now is for rich women on diets.
more. So he's trying to take the airwaves.
Are you
Terrell,
guys rich
he
girls
just
or on a
keeps
diet?
talking.
See, that's what I'm talking about. He's insulting us. You saying we're bitches because we're drinking clear alcohol?
I'm saying
Let me mind you, Patron is clear as shit and it's hard as fuck, dude. Fuck you. How about some top 10 lists, like top 10 movie theme songs? Maybe. What would you say, Stu? Would you agree? Top 10 theme songs?
Top 10 theme songs
I just
to
wanna do some
movies.
Top 10 music.
Yeah.
What? Like the A-Team theme song?
You don't like movies, Stu. You don't.
Maybe like Mission Impossible.
Maybe.
How's that one go? Nobody knows.
All right. Why don't you run more contests on the show when a date with Stu? Maybe.
What?
That's
No.
He's getting to that.
There's no women that listen to our show. You think there's women that listen to our show?
Wilma Fingerdo does. No more rap music, but that's biased bullshit. How
can't
come
say
you?
You did Kanye one time, and I can't do it.
Thank you. Oh my God, I am redeemed.
Well, that's just you guys. We can't segregate. We can't discriminate our rap fans.
Yeah, Kanye. Oh.
How come you only drink on the show? I'm sure Lil Wayne, Bow Wow, Jesus, John smoke the Chronic every now and then. That's you can tell when the show is fucking up was because Stu being high. Why is the news segment so short? Not once have I heard you talk about Fat Axl Rose or Ozzy sharing divorce or who Taylor Swift is going to screw next.
Can I rebuttal
Your news is dark. It's
before you
That's
keep
no
going?
Go ahead.
It gets
I'm
dark.
I'm never
You gotta
high.
lighten up. You gotta do dark.
We're trying to not have bullshit things. So
I'm never high. That's bullshit.
would you guys want to?
I don't get high.
Steve, you want to do more news about what would you say, like non sequitur, like pop culture music things, or do you not care?
Yeah, I thought that was music news.
Yeah, I don't want to talk
No.
about oh, look at the Kanye West video. Like, what's the point? What are we gonna say?
See, he brings up Kanye West again. Just don't bring up Kanye West.
All right. Well, we might.
There's other news other than Kanye West.
Oh, you guys see the new Fergie video, the MILFs thing? What are we gonna say about that?
Yeah, awesome.
And that's it.
And Fergie was hot.
How much more can we go on that, Jay?
You saw the bottom of her
The end.
ass cheek.
The end. So I want to have more in depth conversation. What about forming a hybrid radio groupie club? It worked for Howard Stern, and they would randomly come on the show and add in some conversation. We had Miss S here, so obviously it worked out. Continue on that note, Jarrell. If you are Howard Stern, Stu is definitely Artie Lang. Is Mark more of a Gary Delabate or Robin Quivers? I would say Stu is more of a Gary No, yours more of Artie, right?
Yeah.
But Artie's not on the show anymore. I don't know who you are. I don't know what Mark might be. He might be Gary. You might be right, Jay. Good call on that. And the last
I'm not
question,
an Artie. I think I'm an Artie.
you are an Artie. Definitely.
Thank you.
I don't want you to
Sorry,
gamble your whole savings
dude.
away.
I'm fat and I fucking drink a lot and I'm always fucked up.
No heroin though, right?
I'm always fucked up in some way.
Yeah. Last question. What is up with the sexual tension between Joel
No
and Stu?
heroin. Ew.
There is a whole lot of guy love going on in the studio. So what is up with the sexual tensions, Stu?
Well, according to Mandy, I'm your second wife.
Mrs. S says I'm your second wife, yes. But
You gave it away.
you gave it away.
Oh, sorry. You could have said it was somebody else.
Okay.
All right.
Fucked up. I don't know. I don't know what you're saying, Jay, but we're not gay.
It was more of a joke, and
Yeah.
I tried doing it where he didn't notice it was me,
And you fucked
and I
up.
fucked that one up.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And with that, you guys, it's in the show. Unless you have anything more to say, you guys.
No.
I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight, Miss Big League Stu or Hootie Hoo Stu. Is that your name all the time or
Yes.
just tonight?
No, it's all the time.
Vote for that, you guys. I think that's wrong. I think Big League Stu, you made your mark.
See, that could be the contest. Put it out there. Come up with a list of names, or best write-in vote
Yeah.
to pick Stu's nickname.
So we got 2 contests. You guys email us if you want us to do a police brutality podcast on Wednesday, or if you want to have Big League Stu change his name to Hootie Hoo Stu. Everything like that there, and
Who knew?
yeah, and more emails coming in. If you want to get in contact with us, this is how you can do it. First off, go to our website, which is njhybridradio.net. Go to the contact section, type in your question or your opinion. It will come right to our email address, which is njhybridradio@gmail.com. Also, you can check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/njhybridradio, and make sure you like us on there.
YouTube. Just YouTube subscribe.
You can find us on YouTube, like you said, on Hybrid Radio.
Yes.
And make sure you subscribe. Yes.
Seriously.
Go to our Twitter. Twitter us and follow us on there at NJ Hybrid Radio. And finally, for bands and the labels, send us your promos that we will play on the radio station coming soon, which is Hybrid Radio, P.O. Box 297, Raritan, New Jersey, which is RARITAN 0008869. Until next time, this has been Schizophrenic Jarrell,
You are schizophrenic.
and so am I.
What? You're
Big League
me?
Stu,
I'm you? You're me?
we're everybody.
We're everybody.
Saying have a good week. 2 weeks, because we're not doing a show next week because I have a family reunion to go to. And we'll have a show and a guest for that next time we come back.
Because Jarrell sucks. You'll miss it.